What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to the HardCore Fab channel. We've been doing some fun stuff here around the shop. We're making some headway on some of our projects we've got going on here. Today's video, I don't have something that's a complete done project that we've been working on, or a section of that project we've been working on. So I just want to kind of cover the bases and show you what we've been messing with here. And also want to talk to you guys about our car show that's getting ready to come up here real quick too, so that you guys don't miss that as well. So stick around, check out what we're doing. So, update on the Dirty Rooster. I have actually got the steering fixed on the thing now. I don't honestly know how, but it is. So, yeah, we did switch the lines around and stuff like that. We let it sit for a while, and I cranked the wheel back and forth like a million times trying to get the air all out of it and everything. And I don't know if there was still just a little bit of air left in there or whatever, but now that we're back from the show, it's working. Or something had fluid in it now and it's freed up, or whatever the deal is, I don't know. It's working though. So as long as it continues to work, we'll be okay. So got that kind of figured out there, but we haven't messed with the car really any at all since we've been back from the show. We've actually had a bunch of other things going on. So we've been trying to actually work on the Jeep and on the 53 to try to get those kind of both where they'll, you know, be something. So we've got 53 back here now. So catch you guys up on where we're at with that. We had the rear end out of it so that we could get some air ride going on this thing, and to get the rear end where we can lift it up and down and be able to kind of do everything we needed to do, I needed a tranny jack because I didn't have one. So we got the tranny jack, and then when we got it here, it wasn't any good. The darn couple things were messed up on it, so we actually had to work on that thing to be able to make that work. But so we did that. We've got it going now, and it's functioning now. As you can see, it's holding up the rear end because the rear end is not actually attached to the car right now. So there's that, and then also kind of rigged up some of these pipe stands over here. I'll show you this real quick because some of you might want to do this too. So got these pipe stands. They're normally only about yay tall. This part here is usually down there, if I can make my finger go in the right spot. Anyways, we stretched it. So we added this piece in here, and now these things will go up a long ways. Oops, I went just a little bit too far. Hold on, I gotta put you guys down. Okay, there you go. So yeah, now you can see this thing actually goes as tall as me, so it's going 6 foot there, and then we actually have a screw that'll screw out of this thing and we'll go even higher. So that makes that pretty convenient for working on some stuff on the lift. And since we didn't have lifts until just here recently, then yeah, this is all kind of stuff that we had to get rigged up and get going so we can use the lift to do some of the stuff we wanted to do. So that's pretty cool. We got that kind of rigged up now and going, but now we can actually get the rear end in the car, and you can see there's a couple bars hanging down. So we got the front 4-link bar set up and got some tabs and brackets left to do on that, and then we'll have the rear end left in there, up in there. So that's pretty cool. The Jeep, I'll show you the back of it. So we've got the shocks in the back now and the bags in the back now and all of that. That ended up actually being a little bit of a problem that I really wasn't planning on. I'll just kind of show you real quick. I still got a bracket here. So originally I was going to take and just mount. You guys see that? I was going to take and make a mount like this, and then we would bolt through this top hole here into our shock, which was going to look cool and be all right. But in the end, what happened was actually by the time that I got that up there and actually had that there isn't enough movement in the top of that shock to actually allow that to happen, unfortunately. So end up having to scrap that idea and then build a new section up in here where we added a bar in. Really get you where you can see it very good. Oh, maybe down here. So we added another little bar in right up in there, and then we've got a bracket that attaches between those bars and is super stout now and able to actually mount those all up. So that's pretty cool. On the front of this thing, we do have now the supercharger finished up and mounted on there. The pulley up here for that is all mounted and everything's all taken care of that, because we had one that was a little bit small and didn't actually come out enough for the belt. So we got that taken care of. We got the intercooler attached. We've got the mounts in there now for the grill shell, even though it's not on there. And then we've also got overflow tank in here. It's coming off the radiator. All that's kind of a nice, clean, super condensed little area there. And I've pretty well got my air ride stuff for the front here set up, and it's pretty cool. So I'm not going to show you guys that just yet. I'll have to come back and actually see that when it's done. But I've got all the geometry and all that kind of stuff figured out now, I think. I'm going to do a final cut hopefully later today, and then I'll be able to actually put the pieces all together and start tacking everything in place and making sure. But I think we're pretty close. So also another fun thing that got to happen over the weekend, last weekend, is we actually got Julie's car out. For like first time in a year, she's had her car out, and she took it to a car show, so that was pretty awesome. So it's all cleaned up and everything, and we actually bought some tires for the back of it and wheels for the back of it, and we were going to try to put those on the back of her car, but it turns out that they don't fit, which really sucks because I think they'd look pretty good on there. Let me flip this around, I'll show you. So the ones she's got on there now are no slouch. I mean, that is a 30, I think it's a 30 1250 15 on the back of it, so that's a pretty good sized tire. But what we found and thought would look really good on there are some 33 1750 15s, and I think that would make a huge difference on the back of this thing. You can kind of roll it up there against it. So yeah, it's a world of difference in tire, but as crazy as that is to think about, when you got something like I said, it's already a 30 1250, which most cars can't even get on the back of them. So would have been cool, but I guess that's not going to happen now because it's got way too much of a back spacing on there. It's going to be all up in the car. So keep looking. We'll keep those wheels and tires something else. We got a really cheap deal on those at the swap meet, so they'll end up on something eventually. So food for thought, if anybody is interested, get a hold of us. Julie is actually thinking she's going to sell her car, and I'm not sure how I feel about that exactly. I'm not sure how she feels about it exactly either. This has kind of been her first car and her first rat rod that she's really done most of it herself. Since we got it anyways, of course. So there's that, but if she sold it, then we could justify building her a different car and doing it here on the channel. And one of the biggest things that she doesn't like about this car is the fact that it doesn't have a roof on it. And since it don't have a roof on it and we're in Kansas, it's either always too windy, too sunny, too cold, or it's raining, or whatever other excuses that she has for having a car that has no roof and why she doesn't drive it. So yeah, and a lot of that's valid to an extent, but it's a Roadster. It's cool. Is what it is. So sometimes you gotta get a little wet. Sometimes you gotta get a little wind and whatever if you want to be cool, right? So, anyways, that I think is officially for sale. I'm gonna double check with her before I post this and make 100% for sure that she's down. But yeah, if you're interested, really gnarly motor in it, probably more motor than the car needs. Power glide transmission, 9-inch in the back, real steel body, which you guys have seen, of course. You guys have probably seen most of the interior. Let me flip this around. So yeah, real steel inside. She's got her decoupage stuff going on here with all of the little ads and everything. You could pull that out pretty quick and easy if you wanted to, but the doors and stuff do have some pretty cool bead rolling going on. Some bead rolling going on in there in the back. Personally, I think the cushion just needs to come out and needs a set of bomber seats in there, and that would be more comfortable to drive, but that's my opinion. It is channeled down over the frame a few inches there. It does still have the solid front axle and the buggy style spring here on the front. If I can get you a spot where you can see it kind of. So small block Chevy. And then in the rear, it's got the 9-inch in it. It does have a posi in the back of it, or some sort of spool. I'm not 100% for sure, but that's what it looks like in the back. Also a buggy spring in the back, and it probably could use a little bit of suspension work in the back of it. A lot of spring back there. for a little car. So it is what it is. So I come outside to talk to you guys about our car show, because this is where our car show is going to be at, right here at the shop, at the big building. And we did a pretty decent turnout last year. We had this whole entire area here that I am walking. It was all pretty well full. Had cars coming and going throughout the day, so I didn't get an exact number, but there wasn't a whole lot of room left over. So we're trying to make some arrangements now to be able to hopefully try to clear out some of these trees and some of the stuff over here behind me now that will open that up and give us a little bit more room. So if this year we have more people show up, which I hope we do, then we'll be able to accommodate everybody. So the show itself is going to be on May 30th. And of course there's a train coming now. Getting closer, it's going to get even louder. So come back to you in a second. So yeah, that's the train that I complain about all the time, that I tell you is right here in our backyard, because it is. And the worst part is right there is that intersection where this main line this direction crosses the other main line that's back here, and that's where you get all that noise coming from the rails. So it makes a horrible racket. It actually vibrates stuff even inside the building. It's kind of crazy to think about, because the building's not like right next to it, but I mean, it's right there, so pretty close. But it's all concrete and it's all brick, so you wouldn't think that it would vibrate that much being, you know, from there to there, but it does. So kind of wild. Anyways, back to car show, like I was talking about. All this grass back here is all ours too, that we got when we bought this elevator here behind the building. And we only bought the elevator to be able to have enough room to get in and out of the building. On the other side, that's a whole big long story there. I think you guys probably heard it. But anyways, long story short, those trees right there are the trees that I was talking about that we need to take out. And if we took those out and a little bit of railroad spur that's right there, we could open up this whole entire area here all to the front. And then we'd have tons of room for more cars to show up for the car show. Oh, and by the way, this is how often that happens. So I haven't even cut the clip yet. Now the train tracks that are over here are going down and dinging. So there's a train coming from that direction. Anyways, back to the car show. Yes, May 30th, we are having the car show, and it's going to be from 10 to 4. And we will have our food truck here that was here last year. We're going to add a couple of new things from what we did last year. One of those being that we're going to do a bead rolling demonstration. I think we'll get Connor to roll out some stuff, and I can be there to answer questions and kind of discuss what it is that he's doing to everybody, or doing in front of everybody, not to everybody, while we're all sitting there watching. So if you've never seen anything like that in person, kind of give you a little bit of an idea there of how that is. And now we got another train coming. It's unbelievable. I just walked from the corner back over here, and there's another one. All right, so that one's passed now. So let's try this again one more time. Yeah, car show, May 30th, 10 to 4, food truck, bead rolling demonstration. We're also going to be doing an SPL contest, which for those of you that aren't familiar is a sound power level contest. So if you think you've got a sweet stereo system and you want to show it and see how it does compared to some other people's stuff, bring it out. You can do that as well too, so that'd be cool. We are also going to have trophies and stuff like we did last year, except for this year we're going to have them all be a little bit different from each other. Last year I made 10 of them that were all the same and just did top 10. This year we're going to do some stuff, and oh my gosh, for real, Now it's coming the other direction. So this is the other mainline one. This is ridiculous. They're gonna be blowing the horn too. This one's short though, I think, so it's got the caboose and stuff on there. So I think that's the one where they're just moving some stuff around. I'll be back in a second. Try this one more time.
Well, obviously, I'm not Anthony, but I thought I would step in since it was getting a little frustrating with the trains, so I thought maybe I could help out. Speaking of the car show, this is the other side of our property. This will be for our Spectator parking, so if you'd like to come out but don't have a car, you're welcome to come out, park here, go enjoy the food trucks, enjoy the bead rolling demonstration, enjoy the sound contest that we're having. It's going to be a great time for everybody. We're looking forward to having everybody come out again, May 30th. 10 to 4. Another thing that I think Anthony was trying to talk about is the awards. Rather than us making a bunch of awards this year, we are talking to area businesses and some of our friends and having them make the awards and hand out some of those. And I'm really looking forward to that. I can't wait to see what people come up with and bring out. It's going to be kind of fun. And otherwise, yes, go to HardCoreFab.com. That's where we have merch, by the way. You're welcome to buy the HardCore Fab hat or the sweatshirt. We have some t-shirts, older ones from like Hookers and Blow, the Ratascoolie shirt. We have all kinds of merch on there for you to pick out and buy. Also, you can register for the car show. If you are planning on bringing a vehicle out, please go there, fill out the registration. All it is an email, and then I'll get in touch with you, find out how many vehicles you're bringing and that kind of thing so that we can make sure that we have space. It's not required. It doesn't cost anything to come out. It's free for spectators, free for you guys just to come and enjoy the day. But it will help us plan, know how many trees we need to remove and mowing and moving those blocks around, all that kind of stuff ahead of time. I am going to be making some event t-shirts, of course, like I did last year. And those will be available for pre-order. They're not there yet. So keep going back to HardCore Fab and look for them. When I finally get a design that we're all happy with and we can have made, I will post them up there for pre-order so that you can have it in time for the show. Might pick up at show, or you might have them shipped to you. I'll probably put that as an option on the website. So if you want to just pick it up when you come, you're welcome to do so. If you want to wear it that day, have it sent ahead of time, I can arrange to have that happen as well. So we'll figure that out when I get there. It's not hard. I already know I can do it. So anyway, that's pretty much it, I think. I'm navigating my way through our pile of extra vehicles that we don't know what we're going to do with and why we have them. Yay, I found some shade. Hopefully you can still see me okay. I know I can see a lot better. Like I was saying, this is a busy time of year for us. This is spring. We've got auctions. We've got car shows. Speaking of which, we are planning on doing Rat Stock again this year. It'll be Rat Stock 4. We're planning on doing the Route 66 tribute, the whole drive cross country. So if we don't get to make it to your car show, it's because we're having to pick and choose, because we have a lot of work to do inside that building, and we need to get that done before we can go gallivanting across country. But I am really looking forward to the trip. I'm looking forward to meeting up with everybody that we can while we're out and about. Also really looking forward to seeing you guys on May 30th at the car show. Please remember to go to HardCore Fab and HardCoreFab.com and register and let me know. Also, while you're there, if you want to become one of our crew members, there's a link for that there, so you can be a monthly contributor to help support the channel, or you can just do a one-time contribution. We've had some people do that. I think maybe they want to stay anonymous. I don't know, so I don't want to call them out and say the names, but we know who you are. We have seen you, and we do appreciate it very much. And also, I really appreciate you watching today, and we'll catch you next time. Have a good one. Bye now.